I say welcome, or do you say welcome? Or does she say welcome?
I guess I'll say welcome.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to Formation. Today for announcements, we've got myself, Jason Hess, and alongside me, Sebastian. So, Sebastian, take it away.
On Wednesday, there will be board games in the basement of Herb for the last Wellness Wednesday in November. Plus, earn 3 CE points for participating.
Join us for campus worship this Sunday at 4 p.m. Next.
Upcoming events after Thanksgiving. The end of the semester celebration is a Snowflake Social on Friday, December 6th. There will be dinner, holiday activities with a movie and ice skating. Students are encouraged to wear their Sunday best for dinner. More details to come. Next.
Performing Arts will perform their Christmas show on December 8th. More information to come. Now for our home game themes from Sebastian.
Today, wear camo and show off your countryside. On Wednesday, November 20th, is Throwback Night. Wear your best throwback outfit. It could be 80s, it could be the 90s, you tell me.
And now for announcements from athletics.
All right, we got a little bit of a list today. We had lots of people in action this last week. So let's see. Women's basketball is going to host Sterling tonight at 5 p.m. So you got a home game to go to tonight. This last week, they lost to Colby Community College, and Jenna Avery led the Larks with 10 points. Congrats, Jenna. Men's basketball defeated Redlands Community College 94-87 on Saturday. Yeah. John Proby scored 22 for the Larks. Junior Hicks had 18. Terrion had 15, and Trent had 12. The Larks will play Northern Oklahoma Enid on Wednesday. I believe also home, right? Fellas, home on Wednesday? Away? Away on Wednesday. Okay, it wasn't in here for me. Let's see, powerlifting has an update. Powerlifting went to Texas this weekend, and they had 4 that competed. EJ, Brock, Chase, and Corbin, all 4 took home multiple golds. EJ took home gold in the 210 kilogram squat, the 125 bench, and the 220 deadlift. Brock took home gold in the 160 squat, bench, and 100 bench, and the 182.5 deadlift. Chase took home gold in the 240 squat, the 145 bench, and the 232.5 deadlift. And then Corbin took home gold in the 285 squat, the 200 bench, and the 255 deadlift. So that's a total of 3, 6, 9, 12 golds that the powerlifting team comes home from Texas with. Absolutely. And then esports had a tournament, the Wildcat tournament last weekend on Friday with a bunch of Kansas colleges. We took home first place in Valorant, Rocket League, and Fortnite. And then we took home a second place finish in Super Smash Bros. And then the Overwatch team just barely lost their third place game, so they ended up taking 4th on the day. So we had lots of trophies come home this weekend. And then this coming week, we have our semifinals for playoffs for Rocket League, Valorant, and Overwatch. You're more than welcome to check those out on Twitch or come in person. So lots of action this week. Go Larks.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today is a very special formation called Our Best Work, where we are going to honor student achievement. I know you know this, but it's worth repeating. Here at Hesston College, we highly value strong academics. We also very much highly value hard work. We see your effort. And we professors, it just makes our heart melt when we see all that hard effort. And third, we value integrity. This morning, you're going to see students who have exemplified all of those things. They have excellent speeches, projects, what they have done. They have worked very hard and improved so much, and they've done it with integrity. I also want to do a shout out and thank you to our professors. You work so hard, A special thank you to Johan Reimer, Selene Warden, and Rachel Jancy for helping with these particular presentations. What I'd like for you to do, you're going to see 5 theater students. Hold your applause until all 5 of them are done. And then you will have Ashley Williams, and you can applaud for her when she is done. Trent Thompson, clap for him when he is done. I hope theater students, we love you. It's just that and then 5 more theater students, clap for them, and we will finish with Drew Gums. But please give a warm welcome to these 5 theater students.
I realize I'm not a student, but we have 2 students missing today, so I'm going to speak on their behalf so that their work is still shown and appreciated. I wanted to select everybody because I am so proud of this class, and there's something about stage makeup which is very vulnerable, and I'll let them speak to that. I think maybe Savannah addresses that a little bit. But to have your face up here in different ways and formats and everything in front of your peers is a really brave thing. So please acknowledge that when you see it in terms of, would you be able to do this? You know what I'm saying? And maybe you would. And if you could, then come to my class.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Savannah. I'm going to talk about our number 1 rule in stage makeup, which is basically the only rule. It's no putting yourself down or talking bad about your makeup or appearance. This is really important because in stage makeup, we are literally creating art on our faces, and it may not seem like it, but it is difficult at times and frustrating. Every piece of art is beautifully created by us, and it takes time and effort, which is something to be proud of.
Do we have?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Okay.
Here you are.
Okay, for that first picture, that was for our historical figures makeup. Why did I choose Marie Curie for my historical figures makeup? Marie Curie is a 19th and 20th century French physicist and chemist. She discovered radium and polonium and changed the way we view and use radiation in medicine today. She won 2 Nobel Prizes in chemistry and in physics. With my major being chemistry, I knew that I wanted to represent her in my makeup look and educate my classmates about her. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chloe. My historical figure was Clara Bow. Clara Bow was an actress in the 1920s, one of very few stars to make the transition from silent films to talking films in 1929. In 1921, she won a beauty contest in Motion Picture Magazine, kickstarting her interest in acting. She was the first original actress who coined the term It Girl for the film It, where she played a shop girl, and she starred in the movie Wings, the first movie to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. Clara Bow's life was riddled with struggles, including childhood poverty, mental health challenges, and intense scrutiny from Hollywood gossip columns. Although she was very successful, she retired in 1933 at the age of 28 with a wish for rest and privacy. I know that in one show, in my junior year of high school, I took inspiration from her look for my makeup. Actors use makeup to make sure their facial expressions and their face can be seen by the entire audience. Thank you.
My name is Josh Fleming, as many of you may know. One of the things that I didn't know how to navigate before I took stage makeup was all of the options. Rachel guided us through buying, well, she bought our first makeup kit, but that didn't have quite everything, and one of the things that we needed to get on our own was mascara. So I went to Walmart with Chloe, not alone, thankfully, and we got to the makeup aisle, and there were just so many different choices of different types of mascara, and I just didn't know what to get. They all looked the same to me. so I just got the cheapest one. Then one of the makeup pieces that I was asked to do was to do an era piece from the 1980s, from the Valentino craze. 1920s, sorry. And that involves paling the face and darkening the eyes and the lips, because in the 1920s on film, you needed to make the eyes and lips as dark as you can so that they would actually show up and be noticeable. Everyone wanted to look like Rudolph Valentino during the 1920s. Every man wanted to be him. So they did exactly what he looked like on film. Darken the eyes, darken the lips, and paling the face. So that's what I did.
I'll speak on behalf of Mariah, but one of the things she was going to talk about is what about her Einstein makeup was so much fun. And I can just tell you what I saw. That girl, well, you can tell how much fun she had doing it. And she was able to incorporate a whole bunch of different methods that we had talked about in terms of age, in terms of portraying facial hair, in terms of just, looking like that. But it's been really fun to have people who are not necessarily involved in theater. So I have a basketball player, I have a softball player, I have a flag football player, I have, what else do I have? It's really cool having people outside the world of theater to take advantage of this. And I know for her 90s makeup, I was very critical of that because that's my era. And I said, your lips have got to be as brown as possible. So yeah, I think I asked them in general, another thing she was going to talk about is what makes you love one of your looks more than another. And what I heard from the group is that the amount of effort they put into it, crazy, right? And how well it turns out, but more importantly, like the personal connection that you have with the makeup that you're doing, which then causes you to invest more time, which then causes a better outcome. But just having a personal investment in your work, that's a good rule for a lot of academics, so.
So here are a few of my final looks that I did in stage makeup, but today I'd like to focus more on my SFX makeup, which is the one in the middle right there. And I wanted to talk about like how you can do that. So basically, there's this thing called liquid latex, and it is like the best thing when you are trying to make SFX makeup. You put some liquid latex down on the area that you want to make all jagged and stuff, and then you can layer like pieces of toilet paper on top. So that's what I did. I layered it up a lot on like the little area that got ripped off, and then to make like this skin that's like hanging down, I actually made it on my arm the same way I did that with the liquid latex. I layered it up, and then I would peel it off my hand, and then I'd put it onto my face, and I just like glue it on there. And I did it on my hand because it's like easier to mold like the skin the way you want it to. And then to make it look more realistic, basically I just put a whole bunch of fake blood on it. Fake blood everywhere. Might have ruined a couple things, but it's okay. And then I just like layer a bunch of like dark eyeshadows on and just make it look all tattered.
Hi, my name is Ashley Williams, and today I'm going to be talking about my engineering graphics class. I took that as a freshman, second semester, and the previous semester I had intro to engineering, and we worked with what you see on the far left as breadboards, and basically you make circuits, so you can program something and then you can physically create it, and you can like light a light bulb. That's the most fun thing we did, I think. No, I'm just kidding. We made a little robot that could like drive around just by simple programming. But the problem that we had is the cords would go everywhere. And when you need something to move and there's cords in the way, bad things can happen. And so I was faced with many possible solutions I could have come up with, but most importantly, I needed a stand that I could have my Arduino and my breadboard together, and then something that then the cords would not go everywhere. And so what I came up with on the far right are 3 possible solutions and different things. And so I 3D printed many mock things, and they're a base plate that held the Arduino and a base plate that held the breadboard, and it was a lot of 3D printing, a lot of time. There were some mess ups, more 3D printing. The fabrication took a long time, but it was worth it. So this class was able to put into perspective that most of engineering the first 2 years is math, a lot of math, and a lot of hard math. And you're like, oh, what's the point of this? Well, it's to create things that are fun. And you might not have to use that math later, and it's okay. But I was able to use my creativity and think through the process of, well, what's needed for my end goal, and break it down piece by piece and be able to create that and change it as I wanted to. And so I have no pictures of my final solution, but when I presented it, my classmates could touch it and move it around. But that was my engineering graphics. I encourage you to, if you're interested in any type of engineering, take an intro to engineering course. Try to explore some possibilities of creating and working in a team. Engineers are more than mathematicians. Thank you.
Why do more people show up to a guys basketball game than a girls basketball game? According to the WNBA, there was only 2.3 million people total attended at a WNBA game in the 2023-2024 season. And according to the NBA, there was 22.5 million attended total at a 2023-2024 season. Hello, I am Trent Thompson, and today I want to talk about why more people need to show up to female sports. Women's basketball needs more fans to show up. It's not just Hesston, it's the entire country. I'm currently on the basketball team, and I have seen the differences from a guys and a women's basketball game. So today I'm going to talk about how we can solve it and make things better. According to the WNBA website, there was an average total of about 9,000 fans total at a single WNBA game. And according to the Bleacher Report website, there was an average total of 18,000. At one of the home games, the women's games only hosted about 19 people, while the boys had a JV game that was a lot more than 19. How do we satisfy the need? More exposure on social media. When I interviewed Ashley Williams, I asked, what can the team do to advertise their game? And according to Ashley Williams, she replied, the team posts on Instagram every day on game day, and the only problem is the following is still low. Or we could bring pizza over to the Yost because they start at 5:30 and dinner starts at 5:30, and most of the people leave to go to dinner, and they don't come back until the guys' game. We can make things better by having a sense of community and help the girls by showing up. If the girls have support and fans, I believe the girls can win games. So be on time and support your women's basketball team. Their next home game is today at 5. You can check by following their Instagram account, Hesston WBB. So therefore, be at the next home game and support not one but both of the teams. We would appreciate it. And I believe fans can also win games by getting in the opponent's head and having fun. So show up there, be on time, and show love and support. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Caroline. First I want to talk about something that was surprisingly difficult about my spider Halloween makeup look. The hardest part for me was actually just making the eyes round because I discovered that my hands are really shaky. The way that I discovered to solve this was by using the lids to makeup bottles as stencils. I personally think a cool piece of stage makeup is that you don't really have to be an artist to be a part of the class. Creativity and effort go a long way, and if you get stuck, Rachel's always around to lend a helping hand.
Hey everybody, I'm Christian Ryan. On the left, you can see my historical look was Charles Lindbergh. My aviation students should know him well. Yeah. And on the right, my SFX makeup, I tried to emulate a look of catching some stray buckshot to the face. Each of these looks had a part that I struggled with application-wise, but it was really cool experience getting to learn it. Charles Lindbergh had some weird eyebrows, okay? So I had to take a glue stick. I never knew people did this. You take a glue stick and you just like glue over your eyebrows, and you gotta wait for it to dry, and then you powder over it, or else it'll pebble up a whole bunch and it'll look like a old sweatshirt or something. But yeah, so having to change the shape of my eyebrows is really crazy. Caroline did a great job with that on her Twiggy look. And then on the right, Anya was talking about the liquid latex. We also have scar wax, which was really crazy to work with. And I also found out my face is incredibly unsticky for some reason, because I would put these little balls on my head, put a little dimple in them for where the buckshot went in, and these things would just pop off. So yeah, there's also stuff called spirit gum. Slap that on there, wait for it to get tacky, and then that thing's solid. So yeah, just learned a lot about different application methods. And just the simple makeup, I don't know how people do that every day. That takes something, so anyhow, thank you.
Okay, clearly I'm not Ava, so I'm speaking for her. Ava did a really beautiful job bringing the artistry into the piece. We did some gender swaps, and we had a really interesting conversation just on human anatomy and the makeup of the skulls and the Neanderthal ridge that we tend to accentuate in makeup for a male face. But that was a really interesting combination of ideas, because we were talking about what creates a feminine face versus a masculine face, femme, mask, and these are all conversations right now kind of in our world today. So it was a really pretty meaningful conversation. Yeah. Ava was also going to talk about the structure of the class, and we meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Mondays is when we generally present our research or our ideas, and then we use the rest of that time on Monday and Wednesday to solidify those ideas as we practice, try, fail, try again, fail again. And then Friday, we have our final look. So they have to be able to master their look in 50 minutes time, because that's a the length of the class, actually 45 minutes, because that's also about how much time you have before a show. And so getting all your stage makeup on and getting ready, this is a really good testament of how quickly they have to work and master their looks. Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to add more onto what Rachel was talking about, which is like the human anatomy, which is for masculine faces is more of a heavier bone brow, like she talked about, facial hair, let's say thicker eyebrows. And I think one of the main things I struggled with was trying to make a boxier face that masculine faces do tend to have, as well as also having a struggle with trying to do facial hair. And I think overall I pretty much love this look because I was able to see how much I was able to work with it, and I didn't actually expect this much for myself, but I think this look was probably one of the best ones, and I had fun doing it.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. So of these three, I would say my favorite was my special effects one because we did it around Halloween time, which was really fitting. And it was really fun to do fake blood because I've never done that before, and scar wax. And figuring out how to do bruises was also super cool, and staples. So I would definitely do this look again. And one thing we do in the class is something called a makeup morgue, where we collect our research before we start like a final look. And we do a bunch of research and find examples for the idea, so we kind of get an idea what we're going into. And it helps me a lot when I find at least 5 reference photos to get off of like Pinterest or something, or even YouTube videos help a lot. And for the class, we still have 4 looks left for the semester, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Thank you.
Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that I did for my speech class, which is a kind of a personal topic, but I think it needs to be talked about. And my name is Drew Gums, and I'll be presenting to you today. So, according to James C. Hurst, the University of Wyoming student Matthew Shepard was brutally attacked and tied to a fence, left to die after being deceived by 2 men whom he met at a bar. Upon being discovered the next day and rushed to the hospital in a critical condition, his ordeal and subsequent death led to the momentous moment that highlighted the need for greater support and advocacy for LGBTQ+ persons. I want to persuade my audience today that there's a need for LGBTQ+ support groups on campuses. As a gay college student, I often feel isolated and alone without someone to talk to, and that's why I believe support is needed. I know this topic might be difficult for some to digest, but I hope we can foster an environment where diverse opinions can be shared. I want to persuade today I'm going to show you the need, why there is a need for change, what can be done to facilitate this change, and how we can make a difference today. Problems are rising daily, and that's why support groups are essential to help LGBTQ+ students and faculty feel safe. As Ken Rogers, whom I interviewed last week, stated, support groups are important to help persons have a safe place to talk and be able to visit in a confidential setting, as you never know who needs help. Campuses like Sterling College and Table College are having issues with queer students and faculty feeling safe on campus. Sterling, as reported by Dawson, updated its handbook, which created confusion and a chilling effect on what they could say and do both at work and in their private lives, causing concern about LGBTQ+ inclusion on campus. Tabor College as well, according to the Campus Pride Index in their 2020 to 2021 handbook, also outlines disciplinary actions for behaviors deemed immoral, including premarital, extramarital, homosexual, or other immoral sexual behavior. Another reason why we need support groups is that because of mental health. Approximately 4.5% of the US population identify as either lesbian, gay, or bisexual, where 39% of them experience some form of mental illness. That's about 5.8 million people. Bridge to Balance said these challenges contribute to severe mental issues, with 42% of the LGBTQ plus youths are seriously considering suicide. That's why they believe support groups are needed to help. These horrific stats and stories show us that we need some solution to combat these issues. Creating support groups on college campuses which provide LGBTQ plus faculty and staff with a safe space to be themselves. We could also have a gay-straight alliance where allies can support queer members, or even just be more verbal about support around campuses by having stickers and other means around. Brianna M. Vespone highlighted that the LGBTQ plus students at conservative colleges often face identity problems and perceive campus climate as bad and lack support. That's why colleges like Better College address this by offering resources such as Belong To, a group supporting LGBTQ plus persons led by students, and a Gay-Straight Alliance which promotes visibility, advocacy, and link them to resources like library support. This graph explains why support groups in schools matter. Schools that have support groups tend to have a reduction in suicide and harmful attacks. As it can be seen, the 57% of students that have support groups in their schools are less likely to experience homophobic remarks compared to the 75% of students who do not have support groups. With these solutions, we can visualize things like a more open campus where students can receive support and no longer feel the need to hide their true identities and desires. A place where all forms of diversity is welcome. Allowing male students who need guidance regarding sexuality to feel safer on campus. If these methods are not implemented, students who are part of the community will drop out of schools to find a place where they feel safer and result in the college's loss of income. But I know support groups take a lot of time to create, so until these are erected, we can just attend our local Belong To groups on our campus. And actually, Hesston College is actually trying to open back its groups, and it meets at these times. We all deserve to feel welcome, as it's important to help combat issues like the Matthew Shepard case, so we don't lose any more precious lives. So I encourage you to save a life, take action today. Thank you.
Students, thank you. I was challenged, I was encouraged, and with leaders like you, the world looks very bright. Thank you too we'll talk about the M2 prison ministry this Friday. Thank you for your attention. Now you can take attendance. Thank you.